Hello again, my dear language learning masters. How are you doing? Great today, and I welcome you again to the Language Input Podcast, in which, as you know, I'm addressing the most common questions and misconceptions when it comes to the language learning process. All right, and yeah, before getting started with today's episode, number 10, I just wanted to remind you guys that if you're if you're listening to this on YouTube, just let your comments down below, or whatever the platform you're using. If you can leave comments down below, and you have any questions concerning the language learning process, anything you'd like to know, or anything you're not sure about when it comes to learning languages, feel free to leave a comment down below, because I'll be more than happy to help you out. I'll be more than happy to create an episode for that, and you'll be giving me ideas as usual, as I'm always saying. So, thanks in advance for that. And with that being said, let's get into today's episode. And today we're going to talk about talent. Yeah. So, is there such a thing as talent for languages? Yeah, we've probably heard that many times. I'm talented for languages, or I'm not. That specific person is talented for languages, or he's good at languages, she's bad at languages, she's talented for languages, and similar expressions, right? But is there such a thing as talent for languages? Well, to me, it all comes down to, we have to get back, as usual, to our school, high school, college days of learning languages with the traditional approach. Okay, you can all relate to that, right? To memorizing vocabulary lists, learning grammar consciously, and so on. Yeah. And the thing is, because that's the only way we knew. That's the only way we knew a language could be learned, right? With little differences, but we all had the same type of education when it comes to learning languages. So we all thought we had to learn the grammar rules consciously and memorize words and so on, and study, which is a word I don't like at all. Because of that, when even if you were super motivated to learn a new language, after some time, when you just weren't seeing any results, your motivation started to fade away, right? And you wonder, what's wrong with me, right? Because you were looking at, on TV, and especially right now it's crazy, because we have YouTube and so many other platforms. So every single day, if you're interested in languages, you're gonna come across videos of people speaking different languages, or you're gonna meet people who speak several languages, right? And while you're watching videos or listening to people like that, or meeting people who speak several languages, and you're still struggling to learn your second one, right? Which is a situation I certainly was in, and I'm sure you can relate to. What's your feeling, right? I remember when I was younger. When I didn't speak any foreign languages yet, I used to look at polyglots as sort of superheroes. Yeah, that's true. Because the only way we knew was to, like I said, learn grammar consciously, memorize things, etc. I looked at polyglots, like people with an incredible memory, or with, like super committed people, like super consistent people, who could study, a language or anything, but languages in this case, who could study for a few hours a day and don't get tired, right? Actually that's in my mind, I looked at them as superheroes, with special talents, for languages that I didn't have. Okay. And yeah, because they were getting results and I wasn't. So there had to be something wrong with me, right? Obviously, there wasn't. We all know that now. It was simply the approach, right? But yeah, I perfectly remember that. Like I vividly remember that I used to look at them as superheroes. Like I wanted to be like them, but because of everything I've been explaining so far in this episode, I just couldn't get it done. So I thought I would never be able to do that, right? But thanks to my love for languages, thanks for my passion for languages, fortunately I didn't give up. But what I want to talk about today is the fact that to me there's no such a thing as talent for languages. All right. So I want to be clear on that. I want to be clear, like I'm always saying, and I won't get tired of saying that we can all learn any language while enjoying the process. I'm confident. I'm positive. Sorry. And well, when enjoying the process, that to me is actually the only way. But you already know what I think, right? But the thing is, if we're trying to learn a language with the traditional approach, of course there are people who, I'm not talking about time, but there are people who actually don't mind sitting and studying for a while. That's not going to help them learn the language, all right? But they have whatever technique to memorize words, and that seems to work for them. Like I said, again, it doesn't work for anybody. So it's actually comprehensible input what helps you in eventually, right? But there might be some differences, right? But if you look at the actual process of how a language is actually acquired, which is the way we all acquire a native language, again, it worked for every single one of us. So we all have the ability to learn different languages in our brain, right? Like it can work for every single one of us. Okay? So it all comes down to following the same principles, like I'm always saying. So this is not about talent, this is not about studying, this is not about working hard, this is about getting comprehensible input. Again, if you understand what I'm saying, you're learning the language. If you understand what you're listening to, if you understand what you're reading, you're learning the language. It's that simple, and we can all do it. Okay, so that's the main takeaway I want you to. That's the main thing I want you to take away from today's podcast, right? That there's no such a thing as talent for languages. Okay, and to give you my personal example, right now I speak 7 languages. And I continue. I'm starting to learn Russian and Chinese now, because again, I love them and I know I can learn them by having fun, right? So I'm not gonna stop because I just love the process, and being able to communicate with people from all over the world in the native languages is just such a priceless feeling. It's just unbelievable. So I'm not gonna stop, and. Of course, I'm super passionate about languages, and that does make a difference, okay? Because, I'm always looking for new ways or new ideas in order to learn a language, or, new videos, new YouTube channels, new documentaries, or whatever it is to help me, continue to learn other languages. So in that sense, being passionate does help me. But again, it has nothing to do with talent. And like I said, in the past, I looked at people at Polyglots like, superhero, like super talented people. So I thought I didn't have the talent to learn a language. But fortunately, there's no such a thing. It's all about following the same principles and, getting comprehensible input. If you do that, the process is going to work. I guarantee you that. But again, it's not going to take you 2 months, all right? It takes more than that. And yeah, but that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about today, that there's no such a thing as talent for languages. And the thing is, right now that I speak 7 languages, whenever I meet new people, whenever I go to language exchanges events, I meet new people, or in any other context, and, this topic comes up, that, languages in general, And when I say that I speak 7 languages, most people right away, I mean, the first thing most people think right away is, okay, you must be talented for languages, or, you must be really good at languages. And I mean, what that does is, you're gonna stop thinking in that moment, or you're gonna stop trying to, I don't know, learn something from what I'm saying and try to replicate that, to see if you can actually do it as well, because believe me, you can. So, the moment you think I speak 7 languages because I'm talented, and you're not going to be able to speak 7 languages because you're not talented, you stop learning. Or obviously, if you think that way, it's not going to work. But, I can't stress this enough. I don't have any special skills for language learning, or any special talents for language learning. Believe me, everyone can learn language. Because again, the process worked for every single one of them already in our lives, at least once, or twice for bilinguals, or three times for trilinguals. I mean, and so on and so forth, right? So if you're listening to this episode and you've always thought that you weren't gifted for languages, or you weren't talented enough to learn languages, please know that there's no such a thing as talent for language learning, that you too can learn any language when you're in the process. Yeah. And that's the most important thing. And, I think it's a pretty, I was going to say it's a positive message, but it's real. It's realistic, right? So it's not that I'm trying to be optimistic with no reason whatsoever, right? It's just the way it is. It's worked for every single one of us before, and it can work again. Yeah. So this is today's episode, today's episode, guys. And as usual, let me know in the comment section down below what your opinion is on this topic, whether you agree with me, whether you don't, whether you have any suggestion, or I don't know, anything you want to talk to me about when it comes to this particular episode. And like I said at the beginning, any question you may have when it comes to the language learning process, go ahead, feel free to let me know, to comment down below. Because I actually love the debate around the language learning process. I just, it's just my passion. Language is my absolute passion. So remember, that does help, of course, when it comes to continuing, the journey of learning new languages. That does help, of course, but that has nothing to do with talent, all right? So, the next time you bumped into, or the next time you come across, a polyglot or someone who speaks X amount of languages, don't look at them as super talented people for languages, or as superheroes like I used to do. They're just human beings just like you and me, and they learn languages. I've learned languages, and you too can learn languages. So so go ahead with your journey, because languages are just beautiful and incredible, and that feeling of a new language sort of opening up in your mind. You start to understand a new language, or a new, a book in a new language. That feeling, oh my goodness, that's just unbelievable. So please continue. Don't give up. Continue to learn languages. But do it the right way, of course, because with grammar and so on, we all eventually give up. Okay, so thank you for listening as always, and thank you for coming this far in this episode. And that's it for today, guys. I wish you a good day, whatever you might be, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.